What's going on, Cancer? I salute the divinity in you, and welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic. Hope you're feeling ready to prep for the future. We're gonna build things of long-lasting beauty. The moon is just hot in Taurus, just feeling all celebrated. She's exalted in Taurus, specifically at 3 degrees of Taurus. If a little fun fact there, if you get your moon at 3 degrees, you're like woof. But if you hope you're all feeling well. And if you're new to the channel, welcome again. My name is Justin, and know that when you're coming across this video, you're in sync with the moon, and she loves that. And there's also a place for you if you have any Cancer in your placement, sun, moon, rising, Venus, wherever. This one's for you if you just want to sync up with the moon. We welcome you here. You Cancerian love all around. And I do tarot card spreads based upon ruler here, the good old moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going to avoid, of course, all those lunar shenanigans. Sidebar, actually, someone posted a picture in the astrology group I'm in, and they had a lovely picture of, I think they live in Hawaii, and the moon's just like nestled on this bed of clouds. I was just like, look at her, just doing it well. Love Luna. But yes, I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going to avoid, of course, all those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what fits into your story, discard the rest, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, I think I always start with the right hand. I might have to switch it up. Let's jump into it. All right. So, depending on when you're watching this, I'm doing this, well, it's fine, you don't need to worry about that. But I'm doing this, or depending on when you're watching this, let me get myself together. Happy Venus Day. And I love that Venus is here, you'll see here in a moment. But Venus is associated with Fridays, and this is a great day. I feel like especially with Venus being in Virgo right now, this can be a great day for just kind of looking at what kind of new things, oh, interesting. What kind of new things do you want to attract to yourself that'll make you feel good? Thanks, Divine Self. That will get you functioning at your best. And even I feel too, this could be like I feel like a time to kind of take it easy, to give your nervous system a break with Venus being in Virgo. Seeing that the opposite sign of Virgo is Pisces, I find where Pisces where they complement each other, and I feel with Virgo the rest aspect of it, the rest and relax can be something that can be, what are some things that you can do for yourself, and I feel like that couples really nicely with where the moon is at. So what are some nice things that you can do to kind of good for your senses, good for your health, good to get you feeling in a calmer state, get you feeling in a state where you're like, okay, now I can think from here, I can think about my future now that my head's not spinning every which direction. Really great kind of grounding day, I feel this. Even though Venus happens to be in her fall in Virgo, we can make that to our advantage. It's just seeing what things are kind of pulling us down, being a little more discerning with what we're pulling in, considering that Venus is such a magnet. So just some things. This could be even great time too to maybe go for a walk with some friends, maybe get outside, maybe go, depending on how the weather's doing, it's raining over here, but maybe you want to play in the rain. Whatever that's looking like, I support that. Or maybe you want to just go for a walk in the rain, maybe you want to go sing in the rain, I'm with it. But really kind of great time, I think, to get outside, get the body moving, and you could do it with people too. I think that's always a lovely time to spend with the Venus Day, do it with some friends, family, whatever that's looking like. Now, depending on when you're watching this, the moon is going to enter into Taurus at about 5 p.m., and that's going to be Pacific time. And she is entering in, or she's been in this. She is in a waning gibbous phase, or in a disseminating moon phase. And when I think about the moon in Taurus, like I was saying earlier, the moon is exalted in Taurus. That means she's most celebrated. That means that she's working with some really great resources here in Taurus. She's able to think of, and the moon is a great energy for nourishing things. So you take that moon power with the perseverance of Taurus, that fixed earth energy. The moon can manifest some really great things in the long term. So this can be a time where if you've been feeling kind of down in the dumps, you haven't been looking looking forward to tomorrow? What are some things that you can work into? And think about a bit, that is, we're thinking something Venusian here when we're talking about Taurus. What are some things that you can build long term to get you excited to each day? Maybe you just get a plant and get just something to tend to each day. Or maybe this is getting into some sort of routine. You have this ritual during the day where you're lighting a candle, you're making some tea or some coffee, whatever beverage you're starting off with your day, and maybe you're reading a nice book, maybe you got some nice music. Just give you something to look forward to, get you and make something, I feel like, not something that you have to rush with Taurus, something that gives you a moment to really appreciate the present and really be thinking about, okay, yeah, what I'm thinking about this future, what present day things do I need to be doing in order to be in that future? And then Taurus, when you have that locked in, it can totally create that and create that in abundance when we're thinking about this. Venus is represented by the Empress. And when you're getting in a place where you're feeling good too, you attract more of you want. You feel when you notice when you're feeling like, when you're feeling pampered, when you're feeling taken care of, and not that people are pampering, you're just doing just really some really nice self-care. I'm thinking like a Two of Cups type of energy with this. You are in a better mood, you're getting more rest, you're feeling, will get more inspired, more creative, you're feeling more friendly, people are sharing with you, you're sharing with people. And this could be another thing with this Taurus energy, sharing appreciation for those who have stuck it with you for the long haul, who have seen you through your shifts, and you've been wanting to do this thing and then you tried that thing, and then there was this period where we're kind of stuck, and then this period where we're really thriving, and who was there for you along the way, and the people who, not even just I guess for just the long term, but are there any sort of like pivotal people that you're wanting to show some appreciation for? I feel sometimes with Taurus, in a tougher vibration, it can just receive and not give back. It can just get into a hoarding energy. And so you want to make sure that stuff is flowing with Taurus. This could be a great time, especially with the moon being in this waning phase, just coming out of this full moon. Well, not just, but coming out of this full moon here, seeing where you've accumulated some stuff. I was actually just looking back here with all these tarot decks. I'm not sure how that happened. I do it for you. That's my excuse for that. But, I thought I don't have the desire to get any more right now. It's just like, let's get through this. Let's appreciate the beauty for this. This is going to last me a long time. So, just looking at, are there some areas where you can make some space for some newer things, for maybe a different future? You want to do this thing, and see where maybe you've been taking in some stuff that have been kind of grounding you, that, I think I'm ready to shake that off. I think I'm ready to try to get this to move, and this could even be, maybe even, especially with Venus being in Virgo, this could be, I think, a time where you can set some really kind of long-term things. If you wanted to quit smoking, for example, or if you wanted to maybe you wanted to cut down on sweets a little bit, maybe do less processed sugar, maybe you wanted to do more fruits and veggies, or well, that's not sweet, but maybe you can make the veggies sweet. I see you. But, anything along those lines, I feel like this could be a really, really wonderful time. And the moon is really strong, and this is supporting this energy. So if not anything else, just do something really nice for yourself. And maybe even sending a little gift or sending a little nice, thoughtful message to someone, email, text message. It could have been a boss that just like, hey, I really appreciate you having my back that one time. I was really kind of in a tough spot, and you just saved my bacon. And I really, really much love for that. And I feel like that keeps that gift that keeps on giving. Something about that, I love that. So I really do enjoy this moon in Taurus. And if your moon is in Taurus, this is you have a lovely, lovely moon in your toolkit. And think about the things that you have, that you look at, any sort of habits that you have. And if you're noticing some things that you're not feeling, that's just not holding anymore, Taurus can be, in like any kind of fixed moon, if there's something that you're really having troubles with, finding some kind of alternative thing to kind of sub out that. I feel making sure you have different rituals that you like with the moon in Taurus. This is a very, very prolific moon. I was even thinking with the moon in Taurus, this could be something where you're creating even something around your own space, possibly here. Maybe doing like an art night and putting your painting up, putting something to see, to we're like, oh yeah, I look at this work by me. Put a little signature on it. Do something along. Maybe you're writing some music. Maybe you're detailing a car. Maybe you're doing something with your vehicle. You know what they do when they pimp my ride. That's all. Whatever. But with your moon, back to your moon in Taurus, maybe having long-term things similar to like a moon in Capricorn, having things that you're tending to, that you're growing, so that you appreciate that growth process too. I would definitely say any sort of plant, pet, any. But on the baseline, especially, I would say at least having like a plant that you're tending to, so that you're getting used to caring for something. You get into this mindset of this future place. What do I need to do presently? I feel a moon in Taurus can really, I feel like really attract a lot of the things that they want in life. Of course, that's going to be, I'm just talking in general. It's going to depend on what's going on with the moon. But if you can get into that type of routine there, you can manifest or really create this really wonderful long-term future for yourself. And I feel it's just remembering, not just doing things too that feel good though. Not that how do I want to put this? Not to the point of overindulgence with Venus, but doing the Venusian things as far as like investing in, like, I love this chair. This chair that I have, this is the best chair I've ever had. It's got these things these holes that can breathe in the back here. And it's got some nice weight. It's got all this stuff. It moves around. Even this desk, in one of those adjustable desks. I feel like don't be afraid of investing in yourself. Practical things, anything that is going to, make sure your stuff has a job. has a job, whether it be to raise your vibration or to just be something very comfortable. I wouldn't just like settle for any old thing. You know what I mean? Treat yourself like an empress. Everyone should treat themselves like an empress, but especially Moon and Taurus. I would say something to think about there. But last little bit here, and then we'll get into the tarot, we've got some interesting stuff there. We have the void of course moon that's happening. That's going to happen on Sunday, the 25th of August, and it's going to be going from 12:03 p.m. to about 8:03 p.m. So we're looking at about an 8-hour void of course. So we got a work day to just kind of take a break, kind of wrap up any sort of thing. This is the time when the moon forms her last aspect with a celestial body, and she's just reflecting on her time in Taurus. Has this future that I built, is this really what I've been wanting to attract? Have the things that I attracted, has it been, look around your garden. It's one thing if the weeds that are growing are useful. If we got a bunch of dandelions growing around, we can turn that into tea. We could do a lot with some dandelions, and that's enriching your earth. But if we have things that are just choking off the plants and choking off life and things, I always like to think of a garden when we're talking about, or the crops that we're planting on a land when we're working with Taurus. And if there are certain sections in your life where you're like, how the hell did I pull that over here? How did I had this, I could have sworn that said pumpkins, and I got all these radishes. That's not gonna work, and the rabbits are eating them up. So this can be a really great time. You can see like, okay, what do I need to adjust? Where have I maybe been too focused on one thing and I've let another thing kind of go? It's very, very, really kind of really good time to not start anything up during this period of time. Not necessarily like you can't start up a project, but like maybe getting the rubric for something, because there's just not the emotional fuel behind it. And I would also say too, this is a great time if you happen to have the day off, just to get some rest, take care of the household, take care of the family, see how they're doing, pets, family, plant family, whatever that's looking like for you. And just getting centered, going within, seeing how you're doing, seeing how this vessel is doing, first and foremost, how's this body feeling? Is the body feeling tight? When's the last time you got outside? Have you gotten some sun? I remember reading a meme somewhere we're just high maintenance plants. So, which I mean facts. So Yeah, those are some ways I like to think to work with the void. Of course, it doesn't have to be anything super big. I like to just kind of straighten up around the house sometimes during the void of course, or if I've been like, oh, I've been needing to get to some notes, or maybe I've been wanting to wrap up a chapter in this book, or whatever this may be feeling like, whatever. I'm racking up. Like I had a couple books that I got started, but it's fine. I'm getting them more under control. But yes, those are some ways to work with the void of course. Oh, and the aspect that she forms in that void of course usually flavors that this is going to be flavoring this 8 hour period. And it's really lovely. She formed a trine with Venus. And the trines are very beneficial aspects. They're Jupiterian aspects. So they're most beneficial here. And the trines bring this when the planets are 120 degrees apart from one another. So like elements, you'll have like earth elements, fire elements, water, air. And it's when, like I said, there's this flow that happens between those two. And considering that the moon is in, this is happening between the moon and Venus. This, again, I like this conversation because you could start something new, especially if you've been having troubles maybe kicking a habit, or maybe you find yourself always overgiving to a friendship or relationship, and you're ready to just maybe take a new shift on that. I'm gonna focus more inward. I'm gonna focus on my needs and what I want and what makes me feel good. I get a little selfish there, but Taurus is on the more introspective, on the more subjective part of the zodiac wheel, as opposed to, well, depending on how you're cutting it up, but that's what I got for the void of course for you there. Yeah, really, really nice energy, I think, to do any sort of, to help you get some things in order, to get some long-lasting rituals in the play as well. And even to get some curious about some things, because then you can carry this energy over and you can reflect. You think like, okay, I want to adjust some things in this area, this area, this area. Then we get to the moon in Gemini, and then you're just full of ideas. And then you get all the resources that you need. You have the mental juice to go do all the Google searches. So that could be some ways to work with this, some practical ways to work with this energy, hopefully. So, and if you're wanting a little more personal intake as far as like how these energies are working in your chart, one way you can book a personal reading with me. I have a link down in the description box to book a free consultation to find out what areas in life that you're looking at and what services would be appropriate for you. I also have these classes for groups, or these moon groups that I'm going to be starting. The first one is going to be on September 2nd, so if you want to sign up for that, we're working with the moon for a long term here. We're really building intentions. I want to start a group where we're working over a 27-month period. We meet 4 times over that time, and we're just focusing on this area of your chart and really get some tender love and care, and just getting in that intention of planting the seed and really watching that seed grow. You get to have, I've created like a Slack group, so you'll always be able to reach out to me or reach out to the group. It's meant to be this whole community thing, meant to be very supportive. I have this whole idea as I start building up on this. So if you have any questions about that, all of that information is down in the description box for you. So I think that's all I got for you there. So before we jump into this thing, I'm actually going to get another card on this because we're getting some duplicates here, and that's interesting. But these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings. So apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And I'm pretty sure we got this when the moon was in Pisces. But this, we have the air and water dragon card here. And this helps you to connect to higher frequencies, trust your intuition, develop your psychic abilities, be open to enlightenment, and express your inner song. Absolutely, we did do this for in Pisces. Now, when I'm thinking about that inner song, like I said, the moon in Taurus is the moon. Taking care of things is the moon's bread and butter. So when you're talking about taking care of Taurian things, she's going to be able to, you're tending to the land, and the moon is going to help the land flourish. This is a very abundant energy for the moon to me. That's why she's so celebrated here. It's one thing in Cancer when she's able to, when we're able to become, when we set these intentions, and we can be who we want to be. When I feel like the moon is in Cancer, you have this, you can set that internal thing and manifest that outward. But Taurus is a little different. It's because they're so connected to the earth and to the physical plane. They can do this stuff in a way that, I mean, just stuff. That's future. And so I feel with this, you want to see what is getting in the way of these higher frequencies, where we may be noticing a bit of fear, because Taurus can be a little stubborn for something. The intuition can be a tricky thing if you're not working with it regularly, because you may be getting these intuitive hits to, hey, why don't you give this a try, or why don't you talk with this person, or why don't you do this thing, as far as like maybe just like ideas for like networking or whatever this thing you may be. And you're just like, and the future is not manifesting. It's not coming together here. It's like that's what I'm kind of feeling with this here. But if you were to open up your mind just to see, just give it a try. The worst case, you don't like it and you move on, But let me get another card on this though let's get some details with this air and water dragon. Because think about that too. Working with, when we're talking about Taurus builds things for the long haul. You work on developing your psychic abilities and whatever that looks like for you. You're just learning to what that intuitive, that voice inside, what does that sound like? And maybe getting into these meditative practices, getting into whatever that flow is. Just really, come on. All right, hold on. Right, basically. Thanks, Divine Self. You get the rainbow dragon here. And that's exactly what happens, because this bring the leap of joy that opens new doors. Have trust, rediscover wisdom, expect miracles, and accept opportunities. And that's what I feel like is happening here. When you're developing these gifts, when you're trusting your intuition, connecting to these higher frequencies, connecting to things that try to build you up and get you to flourish, then you can just expect miracles to happen. Things aren't so surprising. You're just like, right on time. That's exactly what I needed at this moment. Thanks you. I was thinking about a bill that I have that was coming up here soon. And I'm just like, it'll be taken care of. I had filed for something not too long ago. And I get an email I was like, oh man, let's see. I may have to do a little juggling here. But then I get an email like, hey, your cash is going to be ready tomorrow. And I'm just like, never doubt you for a second, universe. Appreciate you. So accept and I feel there's this accepting opportunities. It's giving me this thing of maybe you have to do something short term where it's like, oh, I might have to kind of drudge through something, but it's going to be, maybe you have to go through like an internship in order to get you to the connections that you want to. You may not be getting paid at first, but it's going to have longer term effects. I feel there's something thinking about a big game here, thinking about the long haul, what's over the rainbow after this quote unquote storm in a sense. But let's get some tarot on this and get some details here. All right. Thanks to myself. Let's see what's going on here. A lot of heat. So you got the 9 of Wands, the Page of Wands, the 4 of Wands, and the Moon card here. And this Moon card, this is Pisces energy. And this is giving me, that's that frequency. This is, I'm hearing like a pitch. And it's something that's when you're thinking about your future and where you want to go, there's something here about what can you do in the present to keep you looking forward to the future, to keep your eyes on the prize. That moon, that cat is looking. We're becoming a cheetah. Granted, we're already the cheetah. The cheetah's already within, but we're trying to see that outside of ourselves. And maybe we're trying to get something here about, I'm getting something about others wanting to see you like this, or maybe trying to prove to others, but that's an illusion. If you're feel like you're needing to prove this for someone else, that's a thing that's just kind of coming in for me. Page of Wands here, there's this new opportunity with this brings the leap of joy that opens new doors. I feel like this is partway you opening your own doors in a sense. This doesn't give me just this. It gives me the receiving the downloads, but it's acting on them, taking those steps. Maybe you're wanting to go to a new country, or try this new thing. So maybe you just learn the language first. you just to get in the idea of like, okay, if I want to live here, this is, I need to get used to hearing how the natives sound to me. Looking at some YouTube channels, for example, or the Four of Wands here. There's something that I feel like you're trying to attract with the Four of Wands, and I think that it's coming towards you. It's that I'm getting the energy of when you walk towards the universe walks towards, when you take 5 steps, universe takes 10 steps. That's what this Four of Wands is giving me here. But there's this active energy here. This is Venus in Aries. There's this active energy that maybe Venus isn't comfortable with, considering that she's in detriment in Aries. This is interesting. There's a lot of Venus kind of weaker here in these themes when we're talking about her in this scenario. Consider she's currently in fall and in detriment in this card. But it's just like, I think that the attracting isn't enough. It has to be the activity, this Nine of Wands here, that's going to get you to where you're needing to be. And there might be some mistakes. This cat's trying to cross this bridge here, but it's fallen a couple of times. And it's just like, man, I gotta get that bird, but this water's not doing it. This raft is not working. But I'm getting there's this thing of this keep trying energy, not hitting your head up against a wall, but it's this persevering energy. Just keep showing up each day. Keep doing the reps, doing the thing, especially if it's something that fuels you up. If it's draining you, it'd be one thing if I was doing these videos and it was just like, if I finished, I was just like, gosh, just feeling really stressed. It's one thing if you're having oh my gosh, I got a deadline to meet, but it's a whole other thing when you're feeling like, my gosh, like, what am I even doing this for? Like, I got to do this again. If you're finding things that are doing that are just not, where you're not feeling the energies, the Moon in Sag, let's move that somewhere else then. Let's get that. That's where I feel this enthusiasm here, doing something here that's getting you to look forward to the future, that get your energy up. Let's get some more on this. Oh, yeah, let's get your energy up. All right. This air water dragon, that's interesting. I just gotta hit, like, we've been doing a lot of thinking, air, a lot of feeling, water, but now say Ace of Wands popped out. And there's this, okay, let's put that. You got that. You got the thought. You're holding the thought. You're holding the feeling. Let's see it manifest. Thanks to myself. Look at this. Got the Sun, the Queen of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, and the Ace of Wands here. Now, the Five of Wands, that's interesting. I'm getting, you see how this cat is there's all these things that are just being, these wands that are being swirled at, or just kind of being torn each way, or just being swung each way. It's giving me a very distracted energy. For some, that's interesting. For some, I'm getting this thing of wanting to maybe have a few ideas that you're wanting to do, or maybe have a few things that you want, but you can't do them all. I don't think that's what I'm getting. I don't feel like there's a way to do them all effectively. I think it's going to be too scattered, is what this is giving me here with the Five of Wands. And I feel like it's more focused. If you were to focus on the one thing that really speaks to you, then it's like all these other things would come into the works here. The Queen of Wands is shifting, she's getting an agenda. She's getting a game plan. It's like, all right, let's focus on, okay, I want to go to school, so I need to save up money. Let's put in this hours here. Maybe I can do some extra stuff here. Maybe in the meantime, I can get myself a little more freshened up with the course. Maybe during my break times, I can, maybe there's some literature you're looking at, or maybe, but I'm just spitballing some stuff here. But the Queen of Pentacles, again, there is this prolific energy too, but I think that there's a focus. It's like you can do them all. It's like you can do all the things. I might need to get a little bit more with her. It's like you can do all the things, but you don't want to have a bunch of just like half-started stuff here. I don't feel like we don't want to spread the energies around. Let me get some more on the Queen of Pentacles and see what that's about. Myself. Yeah. Okay. So you have the Eight of Wands. You have the Seven of Pentacles, and then you have the Six of Wands here. That's interesting. Okay. So there's another thing here with the Queen of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is giving me. I was actually meditating on the Seven of Pentacles earlier. It's giving me this energy of. It's like you got this idea. You're investing in this thing, Queen of Pentacles. You put your energy into it. It lights you up, but there's this waiting here with the Seven of Pentacles. Maybe things are taking a little longer than you expected, possibly, or something along those lines here. But I'm getting this with the Six of Wands as having faith here. I almost feel like if maybe you've been talking with your friends, possibly, maybe you had like a business you want to start it up, and it's just like, man, things have been kind of slow, and it's just like, well, hey, just keep going, be patient. I feel this, with that Seven of Pentacles, keep this future, you're kind of going through this spell. What can you do to support? Maybe even talking with your group here. Maybe someone can find some ways to kind of pull some assets together here with the Five of Wands. This could be something along those lines, or maybe you're needing something for I'm getting something like for some kind of like assistance, possibly. That's something that's coming in with the Queen of Pentacles. But let's talk about the Sun, because there is a lot of creative energy with all of these wands that's happening. Something that I feel it may take a while with the Seven of Pentacles. It's a big. I'm getting like a Ten of Pentacles energy where you're building something that's going to have this kind of long-term effect. That Taurus energy, building something that people will enjoy, like that. Maybe you're painting. Maybe you're like a graffiti person. You're doing something like a cool art thing on the side of a bridge, or kind of doing something like that, or something here that's bringing. I'm not quite sure what that is. There's something here about bringing some light. Let me get a little bit on that Sun too before we get some advice from Venus. Let me see what the Sun's about. Okay. Thanks to myself. Okay. Wow. Okay, so we got double Ace of Wands here. So we got Ace of Wands, the Sun's clarified about Ace of Wands, the Six of Cups, and the Judgment card here. And that Judgment card, something's changing. I feel like there's been this, oh, that's interesting. Okay, I feel like there's been this nudge here. And maybe you're not sure how long this is going to take. That Six of Wands can be your big break. And big means whatever big. As far as like you're just maybe you're starting up maybe you're selling your products online, or maybe you're selling your artwork, or maybe you're going to create some type of course or something here. But this judgment card is you ready to step up. Like you've been getting these sort of calls here, and you're ready to share what's inside of you. This is the Sun in Scorpio. The Six of Cups, and there's this. I feel like there's this thing of moving the energies here, taking this. Oh, excuse me, that's the Ace of Wands. It's the Ace of Swords. Well, we're calling it double Ace of Wands because you're basically taking this Ace of Swords, your idea, and fueling it with this wand, the Ace of Wands. So I kind of like that almost even more, that you got the Ace of Wands, because now you're taking an idea and you're giving it fuel. You're ready to share. I even like that. I think I like that even more. You're ready to share this idea with the world. And Ace of Wands still here, so it doesn't negate anything. It's fine. But I think that's what I got for that there. That's an interesting energies that are coming through here. But trust that intuitive guidance that you're getting. Trust those trust those instincts. Maybe you're hearing something on the radio. Let me get some advice from Venus. But it's like maybe you're hearing something on the radio. You're getting just like some synchronicities coming through. But let's see what else is going on here. Thanks, myself. Trust your intuition. So you got the lovely High Priestess, the Three of Wands, and then you have the Eight of Swords here. Let's switch back over. Because it's that Eight of Swords. It feels like this. It's like how we were talking about afraid of getting wet here or something with this Eight of Swords. It's like we're keeping something bottled up inside, maybe from fear. But this Three of Wands is this. I feel like there's a sign in the sky here with the how these birds are surrounding the sun. There's something here about it's like you kind of where'd the moon go? A lot of this, everyone's kind of looking up. Everyone's looking at this light that's happening here, your light that's happening here. At least we're wanting to see more of that is what I'm really getting here. But I feel there's a more internal conversation that's happening with the High Priestess. And it's a trusting that because maybe you're not sure how you're going to do it. Even that Seven of Pentacles may have been not sure how you're going to invest in the thing, how you're going to find the fun. But maybe you can, they have the Six of Wands. Maybe you can do this GoFundMe thing possibly, or something along those lines. Because it's like you're doing something and giving something back. You know what I mean? And especially with the moon coming out here, technically twice with this lunar, with both the moon card here. But a lot of lunar energy, a lot of light energy, the sun, the moon. That's interesting. I'm talking about these other cats kind of looking up here, but the High Priestess, the cat's looking to the side. She's looking at something that we can't see. And this third eye here is just looking at you. Looking at that. What's that? What is that? You tell us what that cat sees. I feel like there's something here about seeing your side of the rainbow here. That's interesting. Something's coming up from the depths even. It's time for an idea, maybe. That Ace of Swords that showed up earlier to kind of come up for air, but all right, I think I'm going to leave that there. A little something to meditate on, but if you like that, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this if you know someone who may find some use for this. Maybe like a little word salad at the end. And then subscribe to you High Priestess. Hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each day. And then last little bit, if you want to know what's going on with the other planets that's going on, I have a whole other channel. Alchemist 8, where I do the weekly transits and I talk about what energies are coming up, what are some practical ways that you can work with them. And I also do videos that talk about different planetary placements. And if you have those placements, leave any comments to. I'm speaking in general with these placements. I got these 12-sided dice here. They're actually pretty fantastic. I am with one of the decks actually, but yeah, if that's something that you're curious about, I got all that stuff down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here so I can get you out of here. And yeah, just another reminder that if you want to come to join me at the Lunar Mansion, that is going to be coming up. And fun little thing, I am going to, little spoiler here, I am going to include, thanks to myself, the nakshatras and how to work with the nakshatras. I've been actually doing a lot of studying with that. There's actually this really great course that I had invested in not too long ago. Ernst Wilhelm does a nakshatra course. And yeah, if that's something you're interested about, if you're curious about that, let me know and I will get you, put something in the comments and I'll send you a link for that. It's really cool. It's like $60 or something like that. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. It's like 24 hours of gold. So if that's something that if that's even an interest that you're curious about, because the nakshatras are really fascinating, really fascinating, and a very potent part of working with the moon that I've been finding working with it. So, but let's go ahead and get your surprise card here, and I love that. You got the Fates card here, which is the 17th card. That's the star card energy. And I am getting this. Look at you, just covered in wishes. I love that, covered in wishes. That's actually brilliant. I think that's what I'm gonna call this. And that's what, when we're talking about the Fates, I think I'm not a big fan of trying to be a prognosticator or anything like that. I see what energies are coming up, and it's like, am I trying to work with that, or am I just trying to ride the wave? what are we doing? What can I do with that? What are some things that this thing is getting me thinking about? What feelings are coming up, and where is this coming up in my life? And I feel that when this Fates here is here to let you know that the stars are here, not to tell you what to do, but to show you what you can do. To really get you in a place where you're thinking about stuff not happening to you, but working with the stuff happening for you is what I'm getting. The Fates, the stars are waiting on you to see what you do with this. If there was no you, whatever your combination, that section of the universe would just be another day. But you came here for something. You're part of a whole constellation here. You could think it's just a divine mother. But she's that's moon and Taurus. She's nurturing something. She's got a big star right there, and right in here, something. She even got something on her heart chakra. But I'm even getting this energy. It's like a Wheel of Fortune energy that the Fates are turning. If you've been feeling stuck on something, that Moon and Taurus, again, that trine can get you just enough. You may have to, I'm thinking about regarding, sometimes you may have to kind of pull something out there, really get down to the root, get deep to get something out. But once you do, now it's like, okay, now the ground can breathe. Now I can do something else with this and put some new life into this. So that's what I'm getting with that. I like that. So make a wish. you're covered in wishes. Yeah, that's what that's going to be called. So until next time, stay mindful out there. Keep raising that vibration through the roof. Seize the day and the night. Keep eyes on the moon. And I will catch you on the next one. Where am I going to catch you? Sunday. Sun.